Hey you guys, welcome back. Hope you've had a good week. Hope you had a good Friday in the market. It is the end of July, August 1st here, 2025. I'm going to review 0-day options today I took on SPY, working on this small account challenge. It's a Friday, and I struggle on Fridays, so trying to come in with a lot of caution today. Potential for no trades. I usually don't do any trades. If I do no trades, that's like better than a good win, just because it just shows a lot of discipline, especially if I was there at the computer all day. But today I did trades. That's okay. We're gonna review them. I also actually had prior arrangements for like 1 o'clock, so I had kind of a shot clock on it for today, which is another problem with your trading. You want to try not to trade differently and force trades, because you can't trade all day and be available. So had that in my head too, trying to be careful. But let's do a little review here. So big gap down today. Here's Eric's chart, SPY Day Trading on YouTube. You can check him out. Link for his Discord's in the description. 5 days here, 20 days here, and big gap down, and just building liquidity down here. A lot of volume. As you expect, the gap downs. We're below 20 and 5. We're pretty close to the bottom daily Bollinger on the daily chart. Not quite there. I imagine if this cup closed down here, we'd probably hit the daily Bollinger on the bottom. So yeah, maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens on Monday. But IV is up, premiums are up, and that's another time when I don't trade as well. I just have less success. My P&L reflects that, and I've gathered all this from using Copilot, just Microsoft's AI. And today I dove into it because I'm like, I just feel like I don't ever trade as well. Like, I pretty much know it, but I didn't have hard numbers. But yes, when the IV on SPY is over like 20%, even 15%, my percentage of accuracy and P&L just goes down. To eradicate that, or to not eradicate, but to kind of adjust my strategy when the IV is higher, I could do debit spreads, I could sell premium, credit spreads. Problem is I'm on a cash account, it's a small one, so I can't do that. I could trade futures, but again, small account, can't do that either. So what I can do is buy higher delta options, which actually it told me, which I don't know why I didn't think of that, but yes, higher delta options will be less susceptible to decay. So when the IV is higher, just buy in the money or close to the money and don't do anything out of the money. And the problem was, when the IV is higher, that is typically when I would be more inclined to buy further out of the money, because the delta is higher further out of the money when the IV is higher, right? Because the market's pricing in a bigger move. That's why the IV is higher. And so your delta is going to be higher on further strikes. And I would be inclined to take those because they're also cheaper, because the premiums are more expensive. So I don't want to spend so much per contract. So I'm naturally taking these ones that are further out of the money. So yeah, I'm gonna actually do the opposite now. When the IV is above like 15%, I'm gonna try and get higher IV, or higher delta, so 35. Like before, like normally I'd say like 20 delta is where I cut it, no lower than 20 delta for 0 days. But I think I'm gonna say over 15 IV. I don't have set rules, but roughly over 15 IV. I'm gonna try and do 25 or maybe like above 30. And then if it's over like 20 delta or IV, I would do probably over 35, 40. I want to be like at the money or in the money. And that'll really help with the decay. They don't have as much upside if you have a big move, but they don't also decay. And they move more like a stock than a high leveraged derivative as we play with options. Here we go. So straight up, huge gap down, and then just selling into the open. No trades for me in here. Not trying to mess around with anything without structure or some sort of some sort of structure or liquidity that I can see that's being grabbed or rejected. But these are the channels I charted, and I was trying not to look at Eric's or Emperor's charts really at all today. I did at one point, or a couple points, but let's keeping it pretty limited. Built liquidity here. I put in this magenta, this purple. I adjusted them as we went, but then made a nice inverse head here, and then rejected it there, but then grabbed it on the break of that purple. Rejected that liquidity, grabbed it, so you have an inverse head and shoulder. Nice little trade if you took that to the upside. I don't think I caught that one actually. We'll review my trades, but let me just see the trades. I think it's good. Maybe I'll start with just reviewing the trades that are the good ones now that it's in hindsight. Maybe it'll help. And then we'll review the trades I took. So we're in a basically big wedge here. This gold one I hadn't identified until later. Until here I had steeper ones, but this was a pretty good one, I think. Yeah. Came down. So little inverse cup, little head and shoulder here, but really just in between a wedge still. So yeah. And then this rally up. All right, let's just review the trades. I'll do that. Yeah, this one is a nice mutual interest trade, or yeah, retracement, however you want to call it. But I guess it'd be a break on the purple, and then you have a new precision algo, as Eric would call it. Channel, whatever you want to call it. The trades I took, 11, so premiums were high. I only had a buying power. If I was at the money, I only have buying power for 2 at the most, maybe just 1. 11.18, I got 1 put. 11.18. Yeah, that's a break of that gold, I think. Yeah, so it comes down here, builds liquidity. I'm looking for, yeah, I'm still sick actually. This thing does not go away. It's just like slowly better, but it kind of transfers into other stuff like sore throat, and I've got a headache, and then it's much better than it's been. This was a break of the gold. Ahead, shoulder down here. We've got rejection on VWAP. Yeah, it's a bit forced though, looking at it now, and I kind of knew it was kind of wedging here, but yeah. Anyways, I mean, I had the direction right. Like it broke gold and it came down. Problem is my strike and I'm out of the money. Let's see, 11.20 I sold it. Oh, okay, so that actually stopped me out. That's too bad. I forgot about that first one. So opened here, and so this is another problem I need to fix. So it looks nice now that I've cleaned it up, but it broke here and retested that perfectly. So really the entry on that retest of that gold is, this is a money trade. I mean, it's small, but it's fine. So I got in here, which is fine, but I need to know that that is my stop breaking back into that gold, which is kind of annoying if it grinds up there, but really if it grind up that high, I need to get rid of it. So then I could say purple, but at that point, once I'm in a position and it's already broken, then I am putting in these precision ones or my steeper one. But the problem is it's not always selling or buying in these steeper ones. You might just be playing around with a less aggressive selling. If I had this here, or whatever, maybe I had it here. Yeah, I had it there. And so it broke that. I'm like, oh no, well, I guess I should probably sell it. But the issue is really without that, it's pretty clear, like, it just was retesting that gold. It was still selling, just not as aggressive. Given this isn't a very nice range, but the thesis behind my trade made sense. So that was 86 cents to 70 cents. Here, I'll just show this. And I forgot to show the P&L yesterday, but I did show my trade, so you can add it up. We're green today. Quick screenshot. Can't believe it. Another day. We're less trades today, which is good. Less red trades, at least. So yeah, closed on that wick. I always gotta wait for candles to close. But yeah, I closed on that wick. I'm just trying to be quick on my stops. But yeah, without that more aggressive selling, it looks much nicer with a little retest. So I did close on that, unfortunately. This would have been, if I waited for purple to break down here, it would have been green, a green trade, but not crazy, I don't think. I'm not gonna review it right now, but 86 cents to 70 on that one. Next one was at 11.23. I got put again, one put. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Because then it actually worked, and then I deleted that line. I'm like, why am I doing that? Okay, yeah, I remember this one. So I'm late on this one for sure. I think I had another channel in there. Oh well. 11.23. 11.30. So this is a red one, not as red. It's 63 cents to 59 cents. I closed this one at 11.31. So I did end up catching them just late at this point. So this one I did wait. I actually closed it on that one. I think that's actually because I looked at Empers at that point. For closing. Yeah, 11.31. Let's see. Yeah, it had broken his channel here. that's why I closed it. Hadn't quite broken mine yet, but I was like, I'm out of this thing. So that was that one. Another little red trade. I'm like, okay, gotta chill out. These contracts just go against me so fast. I wasn't playing a higher delta then. I was like, wait a minute, why do I actually have a worse P&L when the IV is higher? And it's because I'm trading further out of the money strikes, even though the delta is the same. But since the IV is increased, it's further out of the money, and the decay is, I think it's worse. But you math nerds can answer that one for me. Third trade, so 1 red trade, 2 red trades, right idea, just kind of poor execution. Third trade, and this is to the wire because I had to leave at like 1. This trade I opened at 12.50. It was a put. So I sat through this rip up here, and I'm fine on Mystics. It's in a wedge. It's a mutual interest trade. It's a retracement. It really would have only been because, okay, it broke purple, and then after it climbed a few, I would have drawn a channel, which I hadn't even had this one at that point, and said, okay, respecting it, let me just grab it, and that'll be my stop, super tight. So, I mean, you can trade that way. There's no problem. Like, if it makes a couple, and I'm like, all right, I made 3, I drew channel, and then this candle touched it. Let me just enter. So then I'm entering. Maybe I closed here, but really it closed up here. So maybe there. Yeah, I would have closed by there or there if I was just respecting that little strategy. This one was 1250 to 1257 on puts. This is actually a very similar trade to yesterday. Kind of a weird middle of the range. It's a head and shoulders, but it's broad. Excuse me. So gold here ended up coming in play. So resistance came support here, became resistance there, broke it, kind of retested a little bit. But at this point, I'm like, okay, so this is probably a big bear flag, right? I mean, especially on the longer time frame. If you look at extended hours and futures, we've got liquidity here. When this was building, I'm like, all right, I'm setting an alarm. When it hits that, I'm going puts. So it climbed up out of here. I'm like, dang it, I missed that climb for 1, but whatever. This would have been a nice time to take that trade where it breaks out of liquidity. And I thought about that. I'm like, man, that would have been nice. Same with this one, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But actually, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Because, so what happened with me yesterday, when I had liquidity and it was a breakout trade, it was in the middle of the range, which is a problem. This is at a support. No, I just put that gold in there. It's not really at a support. I think on their charts it was, maybe. Anyways, so came down, little head and shoulders, grab this liquidity. So came down, grab that liquidity right here, right in this area. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to chase it. And then I put purple in here, retested it nicely. On their charts, it was more steep. It actually broke out of their channel. So I'm like, oh man, I'm late on this one. This would have been the entry right here for me. Or breaking gold. I mean, literally it could have been up here, but I don't know, it's a little aggressive. I would have said once it's grabbed that, so I would have been on this candle, and then it's looking for a retrace to retest the top of the channel, going the same direction. So I saw it all through there. Anyways, 1250 right here. So it was a red candle. I guess I was waiting for it to grab that. I'm like, I got it as it was coming down. So it's basically bracing this little shoulder, head, shoulder. It was breaking that, and I got it. And then held through this, went way up here, retested purple, and then it started selling deep. This was actually an awesome candle because I almost closed on this, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna close. It hasn't broken purple. Beautiful green to just big red. Those are the best reversal candles. Gives me a lot of conviction. And then I put in this green selling, so I'm like, this is selling pretty aggressive. So at that point, I'm thinking, all right, this little inverse cup, that's definitely one spot where I could sell. We've got low of day, potentially make it down there. I've got this new blue line I just put in from right here. I don't know if that's legit or not. And then this is where I'm just kind of holding, and I'm not looking at my P&L. I can't look at your P&L. That will ruin you. But then on Emperors, actually, see this blue line, right? Was it blue line right there? Yeah, this blue line. So that's just before it completes that inverse cup. That blue line, I'm like, all right, if it breaks this magenta, which is like the last one, he said he got it there, breaks the magenta, and then it's blue. So, and it literally lined up with when I had to pretty much leave. So I closed it just in time. It was awesome. 1250 to 1257, 7 minutes. It was tough, but big red candle, nice. And then it just started to make this candle a little green. I'm like, I'm out. It's here. It's at the inverse cup. It's also at his channel, and that was literally, I mean, to me that was a perfect exit. I don't care to hold through this, and definitely not through this. Not with 0-day options. Looks like later in the day they had inverse head and shoulder, which grabbed, which would have been a nice trade. Maybe I would have caught it. I don't know, because you had the inverse cup complete there. So back to VWAP for safety by end of day. Yeah, I might have caught that one, but oh well, no problem. I'm green on the day. I'm stoked. A couple first red trades, which went red so fast, and then nice little green one. 64 cents to $1.15, so almost 100% on that one. Very grateful to have a green day today. A Friday, IV is high. Couldn't ask for more. Thanks, guys. Hope you have a good weekend. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Monday sticks around. Peace out.